Do you often find yourself doubting your abilities? You are not alone. Nonetheless, it is time to stop self-undermining. Take inspiration from Vincent van Gogh's word. He wrote, "If you hear a voice within you that says you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that story will be silent." That word, that voice will be silent. Unquote. Remember, your thoughts and opinions are valuable. You should never discredit them before expressing yourself. Believe in yourself and take that step. Take the first step toward success. We often silence our voices and potential for fear of offending others. In my own life, I have worked so hard, and because I will not want people or others to be offended, I have missed out a lot. Thank God, lately, God has given me the grace to step out and to persevere. And I'm grateful to the mentor and the spiritual leaders that God has placed in my life. We convince ourselves that staying silent is the easiest and safest and most convenient option. This is not the right approach. Silence is not always the best answer. Your story is your strength. Your voice is your strength, and it can break or make you. By remaining silent, you may unknowingly send out the wrong message. You may not want to create conflict or frustration, understandably so. Or you may not want to hurt anyone's feeling, or you don't want to divide people. Nonetheless, your silence may not be the correct answer. Do not undermine yourself. Instead, speak up. Share your story. Tell your view. Let your voice be heard. Remember, your story is your strength. It is crucial to embrace yourself when you embrace your story. So do not let anyone or anything silence your voice. Speak up and let your story inspire others. You may never know. When I wrote my biography, I wondered, nobody cares. Who wants to listen? I've been through so much. I don't look like what I've been through. So how am I going to convince people? That was all the lie that the enemy has kept me silent for so long. When I eventually received the grace to write, it was amazing to see that the whole world somehow, one way or the other, they can all relate with what I've been through. And all I could think of was, oh my God, why have I waited so long? That's why I'm trying to encourage you. Waiting for when you can might possibly never happen, because everybody feels the fear stepping into the unknown. But you have to do it, even afraid. Now, let me share the importance of God sending people who see more in and believe in you. Have you ever encountered people seeing more in you? The book I was talking about, it got to a point when I go to the salon, we are talking, people say, oh my God, you know someone, you should write a book. If I go to church, you should write a book. The book was all over the place. You should write. You have so much wisdom. You have so much experience. And I'm thinking, no, I don't. But guess what? Have you ever had a mentor or leader who has positively impacted your life? The following personal stories beautifully illustrate the power of a mentor, especially in my life. Example number 1. My spiritual father, Dr. Bakare, is the serving overseer of the Citadel Global Community Church in Lagos, Nigeria. With a keen eye, he recognized the grace of God in my life and gave me my first speaking engagement at his mega church. About close to 20 years now. That one opportunity opened countless doors for my ministry. I began to get invitation for missions, for speaking engagement. I travel. If it has not been for my spiritual father, I will probably still be hiding under the shell somewhere. So as an individual, and it is all began because through the wise wisdom of discerning given to mentors, in this case, my spiritual father was the man of the time and the man of God that God has called and chosen to steer me out of my shell. And I am still growing. I'm still walking on that. I'm still walking in progress, getting better than yesterday. Number 2, the late Reverend Mike Spence of blessed memory was the superintendent of the North Georgia Congregational Holiness Church and saw potential in me as an individual. I was content just conducting chapel services and departmental devotion on Sundays at the hospital. Reverend Spence recognized that this individual had more to offer and had requested that I share my story and testimony at the annual camp platform. This led to the unparalleled support of the Congregational Holiness Church women who invited and who gave me an invitation to speak at the yearly women's conference. The late Reverend Spence's encouragement and guidance allowed me to realize my full potentials. And I'm grateful because at the time, the 5 Presbyterians where God sent, who unanimously agreed and gave me that rare opportunity. This story I'm sharing demonstrates a mentor's profound impact on someone's life. Mentors can recognize our potential, guide us to new opportunities, and help us to achieve our goals. Now, I want you to take a moment to reflect on the mentors and leaders in your life. Their influence may have been subtle, but it could have made all the difference. There was one time in my life that I have to request to meet with someone who is doing better with charitable organization that I look forward to. I had to take a time to request for a time to speak with her and to ask, what am I missing? And she was gracious enough to grant me appointment, and we went through all of the program of my foundation. We were able to narrow down to the main calling, which is women and family. That did not stop there. That also concluded and supported and refined my calling to now have NGO in other countries, especially in Nigeria, title was Saving Marriage and Family Children Initiative. So I'm still within women and family and children. And I was able to leave all those extras that people have encouraged me to put on that were not part of my primary calling. So please, I want to encourage you. Do not look down on yourself. If there's anything at all, I want to encourage you to stop self-undermining. That has really slowed me down in ministry, and I did not want any one person to have to go through that. Will we continue with this series? And I encourage you to please continue to share and invite people to these courageous conversations. Next episode, we are going to be talking about the two voices that speaks to people. There are voices that speaks. Number one, God's voice. The Spirit of God speaks to us. And then the second one is the enemy's voice. The one that constantly bombard you, constantly degrade you, and constantly just hammering, you cannot do this, you are not qualified. That is not the will of God. That is not the voice of God. So we are going to separate these two voices to know when God is speaking and when to tell the other voice, be silent. Thank you for staying with us. Please subscribe. Help us to reach out to the world. We all need encouragement because we are walking in progress. See you at the bright side of the next episode. God bless you.